Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy Monday morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are doing great this Manic Monday. We're going to go over a few things. We talked a lot yesterday. We're probably going to reiterate some of the stuff that we discussed yesterday. And we're going to be introducing into the mix Dylan Rounds. I know people have heard about this. This is a gentleman that went missing May 28th and has not been seen from, again, he actually lived in eastern Idaho, was not a normal kid. He loved farming. He wasn't with YouTube, social media. He wasn't a gamer. His kryptonite was growing his crops. And weird, because he just disappeared after having a weird encounter. So we're going to go over that and get your insight on what you guys think may have happened in this case. Many of you guys have watched many other creators that are discussing this case. I have not. I've been dealing with getting information on Gabby Petito, researching Michael Monkey Vaughn. We've been on the Summer Wells case. This platform was built pretty much off of Gabby Petito when I came to YouTube. Many of you guys know, prior to YouTube, we were TikTokers, had a huge, massive following on TikTok, which actually sponsored our trip to Kylen Schulte, Crystal Turner, and to follow the last steps of Gabby Petito. After that, we came to YouTube with those cases, and then picked up on the Summer Wells case, which we had been monitoring for months, and started, looking into that particular case. That particular case came with a lot of heat and negativity because we were looking into it, not just looking into it, actually going out to Tennessee to find the answers related to the case. Since Gabby Petito, we put our feet in, went out there and found information about that case, as well as Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner. Many of you guys know we approached the Grand County Sheriff with a person of interest in the Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner case, which is now officially the suspect in that case. On our way to Rogersville, Tennessee for our first trip in December, we were looking into Kathleen Moore and Collin Knapp, which ended as we were leaving. And she was in the exact area that we had pointed to law enforcement and other personnel to look for her. And if we had waiting suits, we would have found her that Saturday as opposed to the Tuesday when she was found, in the exact location, literally the exact location that we pointed. We've looked into Ruth Cecala, still has not been found. We looked into Miranda Rosa, which she has not been found and is believed to have been attacked by a gator in the Waukeva Springs. And since then, we've covered Harmony Montgomery, Serenity McKinney. We've touched on Cody Bigsby a few times on this channel. And now we are looking into Dylan Round's case. A lot of these cases, many of these cases, we actually physically went out and put boots on the ground and got information. And then these other cases, we collected information from Google and other creators and other news sources, which I don't really care for. And it's not that I'm saying that the creators aren't doing a fabulous job. It's just not my cup of tea. I like being out there. I like being in the field, and I like collecting information for myself to confirm whether it's accurate or not. I'm looking into, many of you guys know, the Delphi murders. I'm really highly looking into Cody Bigsby, as he has not, in my opinion, gotten enough attention for his case. And I don't understand why. So that might be a case that I choose to go and look into a little further, because that's only, I think, 12 hours away, no different than the drive to Summer Wells. So I'm still got a lot of things up in the air, and we're going to be looking a little deeper into the note to Gabby Petito. We're still in search of that letter from his mother that asked him to burn the letter when he was done reading. We've heard about it, but we haven't seen it. So good morning, Mary Jane. You are the first to say good morning. So it's nice to see you here this morning. We're going to have to try to find, I got to find some little gifts, for the people that come in here and say hi first. And, maybe not every day, but maybe a weekday. We'll see who once a week who comes in and says hi first. Maybe we'll have a drawing for the first people that say hi at the end of the week, something, I'm not sure, but you guys are really, really awesome. And, I'm very pleased that you guys are here in the morning and spend your time with me. It's nice. So good morning, Mary Jane. Anissa, nice to see you. Emma, it's great to see you. Ram, good morning. Who else do we have? Oh, Joan Atkins, nice to see you here. Sharon, Crazy Nurse. I love that. Crazy Nurse. Karen Davis, Coffee Clubber for life. Oh, goodness. Gigi for life. Steph Hammond. We love Steph. She keeps us on our toes around here. Keeps me filled with all the news that I need to know. Many of you guys do. I have to be honest with you. Christine, it's nice to see you. Nice from Colorado. Good morning. Good morning, Cindy S. It's great to see you. Miss Robin is in the house. Nice to see you. Sonia, in part of Summer's Army, it is good to see you. And do not mind me because I'm about to sneeze again. My allergies have been kicking for days. Many of you, excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. Northern Light, love it. Angel, good morning, everyone, she says. Texaholic in the house today. ZZT, nice to see you here. Kurt is one of the suspects. I'm curious, who suspects for who? Did I miss something from you? I'm trying to catch these because I go through this and say good morning to all you guys in the morning. And so I try to catch some of the stuff so I don't have to go back and answer some questions. So I'm not sure who Kurt is, but I'm definitely interested in hearing that. I'm sure you'll write and I'll get to it in just a little bit. So we'll catch up on that. Karen G, nice to see you. I wish this thing would quit popping up on me. I wish it'd stop popping. I don't know why it does that. It's got to be maybe the way I'm flicking it or something. I'm not sure. Barbara Warren, good morning. Got another live with you. Yes. We've been playing with some times, and then I realized, it really doesn't, a lot of you guys love having a strict set time. I can't do that. Because my time's all messed up. I haven't gotten it back. Like even this morning, I was up on time. I was up at like 5:30 this morning. But by the time I sit there and, you got to get dressed and all this other stuff, and then I've got to make thumbnails and figure out what direction I'm going to go with the conversations, because typically the night before is when I come up with the topic that we're going to be discussing today, right? But it's not until morning that everything kind of gets put together. So it takes a little minute. Barbara. Margaret Allen from Scotland. Thank you for being here. That is so nice. Robin says a Lifetime is currently in Utah filming Gabby Petito. Excuse me, Gabby Petito and Brian. Yes, I am aware that Lifetime is in Utah. So it's they're getting some footage out there. Let's see. Ellie has not released any information about the suspects. Okay. Mary Jane, nice to see you. Mel B, good morning. Lex Luther, nice to see you. Rose Marie, good morning from Florida. My neighbor in Florida. Nice to see you. Lex Luther is saying, smash that like button. Don't forget, on your way in and on your way out, if you have not hit the thumbs up, you hit the thumbs up as you come in or as you leave. So it's nice to see you here. Jody Jackson, good morning. Rhonda, Benadryl. I can't do Benadryl. I can do like a Clarinex or whatever that Claritin is. Benadryl and me it knocks me out. I am just in a fog. It's done that to me. Since I was a little girl, you give me a Benadryl, I'm out. I remember one time, apparently my mom stuck, when she packs, she puts pills in like a little ibuprofen bottle, so she only has one bottle to take. And I was having a headache, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I need to get an ibuprofen." And so she hands me the bottle, and I'm not even paying attention. They were pink pills. You should know that pink pills mean Benadryl, but I was younger and I wasn't paying attention. It came out of the ibuprofen. I just figured that she got pink ibuprofen. Took a couple of those. Gone. I was out like a light. Slept well. But I can't do Benadryl. I can do a non-drowsy aid. Benadryl is not non-drowsy for Bullhorn Betty. I can tell you that. Out. Amy M., nice to see you. She's saying take a Loratadine. I need to take something because it's not, before it was just, a little bit of gunky and now I'm sneezing. The eyes are watering. It's getting bad. Okay, so you're saying that Kurt guy was it? You're thinking might be a person of interest in Dylan Round. Okay, leave nothing but footprints. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Wow, Stony Stone. Good afternoon or good morning, rather. Not quite noon yet. We're not going to push the day. Today's Manic Monday. I know on Manic Monday we want it to already be noon, but it is only 8:15. So unfortunately, that's where we are. So Dylan Round Case. We keep going here. Hopefully I don't. Emma Lou, nice to see you. Trish Howard, Tracy, Roddy Diesel, Tammy T. Caper Girl, good morning from Alberta, Canada. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Rhonda, that's exactly what it does. Benadryl does the same thing to me as it does to you. It looks elegant. How long does this family go on for? Somebody timestamps around. If you don't like the flow of this channel, don't need to watch it. Just a thought. But we don't. I let my audience dictate. I've never heard you in here before, so clearly you're not part of my audience. So they kind of dictate the conversation and moves this forward. But it's nice to have you here. Guys, just watch out. If Look Elegance is going to be nasty and rude, just go ahead and block whoever it may be. The rules of the chat, just for the new people that are coming in, it doesn't matter if we agree or disagree on my viewpoints on the show. We can have, opposing viewpoints and do it respectfully. Oh, Tracy's from Rhode Island. Nice. We can do it respectfully. You're to be respectful of the mods, the people that come into the chat, including creators that you may not like. And you need to be respectful to the creator, i.e. me. If you want to be rude, we just don't have a place for that on this channel. So hopefully everybody can follow the rules. We do get trolls in here because I am Bullhorn Betty, and that is just okay. So Look Elegant. Again, we're talking about allergies and allergy medication. If there's a problem for you in here, if you don't like the content, I'm going to humbly ask you to leave the room. Okay, so have a good day. We enjoyed you stopping by. Don't mess with the board. Exactly. Like, it's too early for this nonsense. Like, go back to bed. Leave me alone. It's funny because I got some haters out there, and now I apparently don't know how to do this well, right? I don't know how to do this well. And I find it hilarious because clearly I'm doing it very well, right? They're talking about me. People have been talking about Bullhorn Betty since the day I showed up on the streets of YouTube, and they haven't stopped talking since, right? Many of them making a side check from my name, right? We've watched it. Puts me through the ringers, yet profits off of Bullhorn Betty. and profits off never having their own content. But I guess it comes with the territory. It's, YouTube is working on it. I'm seeing a lot of stuff coming out. They are working on it. Stitchin', bitchin', and true crime. Nice to see you. So I just find it funny. Clearly, I know what I'm doing. Everybody's still talking about me months later. Like this person here, every now and again dies off. This person over here dies off. But the one thing that is still happening is Bullhorn Betty's still coming live, and Bullhorn Betty is still being hated on a daily basis. So Bullhorn Betty's name is literally across the YouTube streets 24/7. So if that's not doing it right, I don't know what is. They are obsessed. But at the end of the day, for somebody that can't stand me, sure can't keep me out of their mouth or out of their head. I must be doing something right. Just saying. Just saying. Pixel ate me. That's Pixel ate me. I like that. That's kind of clever. That's really clever. Thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So anyways, we're having a great time here. A lot of people have been asking about the Language of Letting Go book. Somebody reached out to me, I think it was Stephanie. I don't know if she's on here yet. But Language of Letting Go. This is the book that I have. There are many of these out there. I bought this about 15 years ago. I know that there's this exact same edition out there, but there's a lot more, books that are the same book. They just don't have the same pages in them because they're different editions of it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they all keep to and I actually like, the different books because they have different sayings in there. They're not the same. Maybe you guys can get something out, but I think they pretty much all stay to, the same format. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But I love this book. I love, the idea of maybe having a different book. So we're not all the same. You may, by having different books, when we go to the date, like for example, today is June 27th, which I have here, Relax Inside. We're going to be reading that this morning. And I find that this is, that having a different book may actually help. Let's see how we're doing over here. And I got I was going through my Gabby content, and we still have a lot of content that has yet to be released. And so I got something up, it was the FBI raid, but I figured that would be interesting. This is the FBI raid after they realized that Brian had disappeared. Gabby was now found. And they needed to go search that entire home. And we've got that. I've got that geared up, and we'll actually be watching that here in a little bit. Is Lifetime really making a movie about Gabby? Yes, they are. They definitely are making a movie about Gabby Petito. Peacock did the first one. Many of you guys don't know. Olivia debuted the Peacock one because of her beautiful work, she was following us around and created some beautiful footage of Gabby Petito. We went out there. Many of you guys know we went out there and measured the entire Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. We even measured we did both ways from his Mustang. We measured the one way, and then we measured the other way because there was two ways he could have gotten where he was from his Mustang. So we measured up both those ways. And it's funny because JJ, which was a person that we met, this case, the Gabby Petito case, really touched him and his family because his own sister was murdered at the hands of her significant other, boyfriend, whether they were married or not. I can't remember the details of it. So this struck a nerve, and he actually came from a different state, and his mom and dad lived in Northport, and him and his mother made a sign, and actually a very beautiful sign. And his mother, is fighting cancer. So he said, they knew that we were going to be redoing the memorial out there because it was just getting too big. It was a lot of plants were dying. It just started looking really, not a healthy memorial. And we wanted the memorial to look as beautiful as Gabby's soul was. And so we went in there, cleaned it up, got new stuff for there, threw out all the dead and dying flowers, and recreated that. And he asked us if we would please not throw that sign away, that him and his mom had worked really hard on it, and we didn't. And it was a really good sign that they made. I loved it. So I don't know if I got a picture of it, but if I do, we'll show it. But he was really a great person to have, even when we were trying to find stuff in the, when we went searching for, because we know that there was stuff still missing that law enforcement hadn't found that we were sure was in there. So we did a lot of searching out there. And the crazy thing is that we actually found a house in the woods that nobody lived in. It was stranded and had actually a well that you could pump water out of. So if he would have ran and wanted to hide, that building would have probably been his the place that he could have kind of laid low. Nobody knew that people knew that it existed back there in the woods, but nobody had been there for a really long time. So, and it was covered, kind of dirty, and things were there. But I got to tell you, like the antique stove, and it felt like we were walking back to the 1940s or 50s, walking into that outbuilding. But it was kind of cool. So anyways, getting on with our language of letting go. It is June 27th. This is relax inside. Meditation doesn't have to be a hard labor. Just allow your mind and your body to rest like animals in the forest. Don't struggle. There's no need to attain anything. I'm writing a book, yet I'm not struggling. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Yes, there are busy times and slow times in all of our jobs, deadlines and time frames, budgets and schedules. But when we struggle, we burn all of the energy in the fight and have nothing left to give to the project. How much better is it to relax, to work on the project and let go of the deadline? The project will be done when it is done, and we will most likely finish it much faster if we focus on the project, not the deadline. Are you spending valuable energy fighting and struggling with yourself? How would you get this done? What if I do it wrong? What if? Relax. The answer will take care of themselves. Just concentrate on the task at hand, calmly, easily, smiling. But the Buddhists have a saying: if you are finished with your rice, then wash your bowl. The beauty of life is relaxing and being aware of the task at hand. Relax, enjoy the work you're doing today. God help me give up resistance and learn to relax. Love this book. So guess what, folks? Chillax. Take a chill pill. Yeah, at work? Got the deadline? Focus on the deadline. Don't focus on the deadline. Focus on the task at hand. Good morning, justice for all. I hope you're doing well this morning. I hope you're doing well. So we're actually going to be discussing some Dylan Round. So just stick in the chat if you want to come up. I'm happy to send you a link too, because I know you're covering this case as well. And any insight that you can provide us would be great. There's a lot of stuff going on. Many people, with the Summer Wells case, before we move over to Dylan Round, Summer Wells, apparently, from what I'm hearing, Jody Sue is MIA. I keep wondering, is this another one of her attention-seeking activities? Oh, good. I'm glad you did need to hear that. Yeah. Focus on the task at hand. Quit worrying about all the stresses, right? Anybody knows stress? It's me. Me with this YouTube. They're trying to run me off, and I'm still here. Still being talked about. I must be doing something right. Why do they keep saying I'm doing it wrong? get it. I don't get it. Phenomenon amongst young people in China. It's called Bayalan. Words in the book remind me of. Oh, okay, interesting. Harsh reality. Nice to see you. Apparently, FBI activity currently at. They're having. Is this going on right now? Let's see what we can find. Hold on a second. Harsh reality, by the way. Good morning from across the. Now, where do you actually live? Like, are you like over in the UK, or are you in like Australia? I never can tell by the voice. I just can't. You know, I had a friend that I was certain was from the UK, and come to find out she was from Australia. Yeah, I just got some that she was supposed to go live at like 10 o'clock last night, never showed up for her own live. Let's see what we got going on with Dylan Round. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Joins the search. So they are there. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we get some images up here. Yeah, he was a young kid. He was just actually not a very big kid either. Not a very big kid either. So here's his property. Somebody's got a picture of his property. Let me pull that up real quick. So he was out there, and I hear that this was a ghost town, or you know, nobody lived there, and then there was 4 families that moved in. Mob crew covering it apparently. I'm from UK primarily. Okay, nice to hear you. I see you. Have family in the US. Nice. Well, if you ever come over here, make sure you reach out to Bullhorn Betty. I'd love to meet you in person. I travel all over this country anyway, so me traveling somewhere else is not a big deal. Oh, Lordy. So let me pull this up real quick. I mean, I'd be honest with you, I did not realize how desolate this area was. Look at that. Like, there's nothing around him. I'm surprised his phone even worked. Right? So there's the camper, there's the truck. Here's it looks like some aerial footage here of the area. And maybe we need to go to Google Earth and take a look at it. I'm Fort Lauderdale next summer for 4 weeks. Nice. I love Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, let me know. I'll drive down. That's actually down. Like I always say, I'm going down to Tennessee. I'm usually going up to Tennessee, but Fort Lauderdale is actually down. So it's a beautiful area. Let's see. She commented on her live that she is sick. Okay, so she's not feeling too well. Okay, I swear she's still with Andy. I believe they're never going to, like, they may be separated and whatever, but it seems to me like even the day Summer Wells disappeared, you know, she's on the text message having all these texts with him, and he's coming to pick her up. You know, so clearly they're not separate. I mean, they may say they're broke up, and but they always seem to be around each other. So I have to probably agree with you, Justin. I really do. Yeah, they don't care, because every time I say something, like they're just obsessed with me. They're obsessed with me, and they're trolling. So what they're doing is they're actually trying to incite people with their BS. Like they're going in there and like for the WFLA, they're trying to say that that I said we planted the bottle, which many of you guys know. We've got it recorded. I would never say that. But there's people there, hook, line, and sinker, believing this nonsense and believing it's coming out of my mouth, which is insane to me. Clearly, they're not people that are on YouTube or know how much people are obsessed with me and try to live my life and impersonate me. I think it's quite sick and deranged in the head. And these people are probably sick and deranged in the head. But they have, Pender's one of them, she's always constantly doing that. Another one, I'm not even going to give, I'm not even going to say the names, because I'm not going to give them credit nor drive attention. They can drive attention to my channel all they want. I will not be reciprocating that. Because every time they do a piece on me, I get 5 or 6 or 10 new followers. So whatever they're trying to do, they're doing exactly the opposite of what they're intending to do, clearly. Well, very interesting commentary from former PI going on live stream, speaking out publicly. Gotcha. I need to get some of those links. If anybody has those links, we'll air them on here. But this is a desolate area that he's at. And apparently he goes over to Nevada. He's right there on the border of Idaho and Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. And he goes over there a lot, but this is he is obsessed with his crops. He really is. He's not a normal teenage boy. He doesn't want the digital stuff. He doesn't want the video games. He doesn't want the YouTube. He doesn't want the Facebook. He just wants to tend to his crop and have a quiet country life. And this is the kind of kid that he is. It sounds like he was a great kid. It makes me wonder what in the world happened to him out there. There had to have been some kind of disagreement. He got into some kind of altercation. There was claims that there was a gentleman acting erratic in the area that wanted him to give him a ride and for him to use the phone. And could that guy be the person of interest in this case? I'm sure he needs to be questioned. But, again, don't know. It's odd. And it gives you kind of a creepy vibe that this was actually a ghost town that 4 families decided to inhabitate, to start building a life in this area, which had been desolate for years. They started doing this back in the 90s. So it's one of those weird cases. It's just, it's a classic whodunit. It almost reminds me of Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, where just, except they found them. This kid here is nowhere to be found. They haven't found any sign of him other than his boots. His truck was cleaned. The seat was pushed up from all accounts, from what it sounds like. The seat was pushed up closer to the steering wheel, and his 4-wheel drive was engaged, even though his 4-wheel drive was broken in the truck. And that does happen. And actually it's quite common in pickup trucks that the 4-wheel drive actually goes at it. My neighbor across the street has the same issue. And that's not the first time I've heard that. So it sounds like it's a common thing. If you don't, I guess, maintain something on the truck, your 4-wheel drive can go out in it. Even though the trucks, you can use the truck perfectly. There's actually a box on the back of the back axle that you've got to clean out and get all the shavings out of that, or it will seize up the back of your truck as well. So there's also those things that go on there. So long story short, he just disappeared. They only found his boots. They believe that there was blood on his boots. They believe that they found blood, but they have not had an opportunity to, or at least they haven't told the public whether that blood was human blood or animal blood. Because being out there in that area, you can imagine that there are, animals out there. Maybe he hunted for his food. That's not uncommon for people in desolate areas. They can live off the land. Obviously, with him being a farmer and growing stuff and things of that nature, it wasn't uncommon for him to most likely live off the land. So Dylan Round is again just a young, hello guidance, is just a young man, just starting out in life. He has his whole world ahead of him, and this is what he loves. So Christine says, I'm no thanks. Had an interview with the PI last night and local that lives there with his mom. His mom owns the land, the Soar Saddle leases. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. So we also got Maria. She says basically, that let's see. I'll just read it. But summer will turn out to be a cold. I think she meant cold case. Summer will never be found. That's my strong feelings about this case. There is that potential. I would like to see nothing more than her to come back and her to come back safe. But as the days are passing, the idea, like her statistically, her numbers are very, very low in the single percentile of actually making it back alive. And that's just statistically speaking. Where she could be, she's in, like the officers told me, it's a needle in the haystack out there. We got to watch a little bit of JLR's video of the backwoods and just how massive the area is and how many places there are to put her. It's sad and it's scary. But I truly believe it's going to be one of those things where somebody just stumbles upon her and she's found. I'm just, is she underground, on top of ground? Is she in a tote? I don't know. I don't know. I just, in my heart and soul, I just believe that over time she will truly be found. We will find out what truly happened to her. But there is that big possibility that she won't. It's sad. Good morning, Life's Chaos. Okay, so the PI says Kurt was gay as well as Dylan. So they both used to hang out at Kurt's bar in Montello, Nevada. And we heard he was going over there. And this could have all the hallmarks. This could have all the hallmarks of, something happened. Maybe they split up and things got heated. But they said he was going over to Montello, Nevada that day. If I recall the original story coming out, I'm not looking at it, but I recall something with that town in Nevada that he traveled to several times a week. So it is possible that the friend, Kurt, could potentially be responsible. I'm curious to find out, is Kurt smaller than Dylan or not? Because, whenever I hear about a truck, seat being pulled up, I'm thinking of somebody smaller. A woman is what comes to my mind. A woman behind that, that moved that truck. But if his friend Kurt is smaller than him, that might be. And that would make sense, because it would seem to me that whoever was there was comfortable enough to take the vehicle and clean it. I don't know if they cleaned it right there. I don't know if he had the tools to clean the truck right there. But his mom said that the truck had been cleaned, and it appeared may have been thoroughly cleaned. So that brings us to the next thing of, somebody felt comfortable to do that. People that don't know the area, don't know their surroundings, is not going to sit there and take their time to do that, because they don't know that person's patterns. They don't know if somebody's going to be coming to that property, because they're unfamiliar with that surrounding. This is somebody that clearly was comfortable in that surrounding. And in my opinion, this is just conjecture and, speculation. But when you have somebody that's there for a long period of time, they're comfortable in that environment. There's only a few people that would be comfortable in that environment, not knowing if somebody's about to pull up. It's a big area, but if somebody's pulling up and you don't know about it, you can get caught. So again, it was somebody that apparently does know his patterns of behavior and the comings and goings of that property. Just saying. Good morning, Lisa. Nice to see you, Lucia. Good morning, Amy M. I'm not sure if I saw you, Doug. Thanks, Doug. Okay, so Doug, yeah, I was on his panel once about something. I can't remember. He's a nice guy. People gave him a bad name. I think he's nice. The sheriff kept the boots. And that's sad, because when these cases, their families, and this is what I don't understand. And I get it that law enforcement doesn't want to be, unnecessarily utilizing resources, especially if an adult just walks off and just needs time alone. You don't know. But what's happening is with their philosophy of, this kid could have just walked off and doesn't want to be found for a few days and we'll call back eventually. That's the name of the game, right? That's what you always hear from these law enforcement agencies because they deal with so many missing persons cases every single year. And many of them are found and brought home and they walked off on their own free will. But what happens here is that certain things that need to go on to preserve that evidence is not done because they keep misinterpreting these missing cases because they deal with missing cases all the time. The people just, like I said, just wandered off themselves, didn't want to be found for a few days. There may be a substance element where they decide to go on a bender for a few days and then they come back and they're fine. And so, I kind of understand that. But if we're going to go through the abundance of caution, err on the side of caution, why aren't law enforcement at least doing the bare minimum? Fingerprints, forensics, things that need to be done when somebody just up and disappears and all of their stuff is left at their property. The truck was left at their property. Hell, he didn't even have shoes on his feet. That to me is a pretty big red flag, especially when you're dealing with this much desolate area. Somebody just doesn't up and disappear. And so it's a little heartbreaking that, they're not following proper evidence protocols, evidence collection protocols, and you have problems like this where this boy's boots were left in the back of a cruiser in the hot sun for 5 days without having the forensic or necessary testing done. Now, could it have affected the test? Who knows? But it ain't right. It ain't right. Some may never be found. Yeah, let's see. I sent you a clip of that one phone call in direct message. Let's see. Yeah, I would like to use No Thanks' clip, but I didn't get his permission to use prior to this, and it just went out in the last 24 hours. So unfortunately, I'm going to reach out and see if I can use his clip, but if I don't hear back from him, I will take a clip of it and use it after the 24-hour mark. He has a right to, in my opinion, it's just courteous. People go in and take everybody's content and has to blast it out within 24 hours. This is not fair to me. And I think if I expect that respect, I'm going to give that respect, just saying. So hopefully we will have No Thanks. Maybe No Thanks or Justice for All can come up here and we can have like a little brain session, a public brain session of this case. I'm interested in it. It's those things that pique your curiosity, and it's like a puzzle and something that's challenging and challenging to cover. So those are the types of cases that I do like to showcase on here because it's crazy. Some boy just disappears in the middle of nowhere that used to be a ghost town. It has all the elements of, juicy content, so to speak, right? It seems, I don't know if that's the proper word to use, but it has the turns and the twists. And that's, what people, in the true crime, the audience likes to see these puzzle pieces coming together and the case be solved. It's just, it utilizes your brain. Okay, so let me see what you're talking about, guidance. Give me just a second. Is this from the No Thanks one too? Yeah, this is the No Thanks. So we'll look at that, but we probably won't play. We'll do another segment on Dylan Round. We're just getting started with his case. It sounds like it's very interesting, to say the least. So, we will go through it, but this won't be it. But I don't want to take, No Thanks. It sounds like he just created this stuff and got this content out within the last 24 hours. So I'll pull it up tomorrow and we'll take a look at it. Maybe I'll reach out to Doug and see if he'd be willing to come on here and just give us his expert opinion and the information that he's found. At least I'm covering this case. Good morning. Maybe you too, Justice for All. I know you got kids to deal with or child. I don't know if you have more than one, but this summer may never be found. Okay, we got that. I sent through the clip. I will look into that. Betty, it's a very, let's see what Justice for All just said. I just lost you. There you are. Betty, it's that very arrogant PI that they have. The one, oh, good God. Are you kidding me? That guy is not worth the time of day. And Lord have mercy, I have never heard a PI talk about a client the way he did that one girl. It almost sounded like he had some bone to pick about the chick that we were talking about that you're actually speaking of right here. Apparently liked to date black guys, and apparently this PI had a problem with it because you could almost feel his frustration when he was talking about it. What does it freaking matter who she's dating? I don't get that. It's not, I don't like that guy. 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 Dude, I don't like him. No, I'm just kidding. What is with Lacey Peterson? A person walking next to the bay found her 4 months after she went missing. Wow. Yeah, but she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was taken out in the water. It took her a long time to get back up there. But yeah, you never know. I'm in the UK and I find it very sad and shocking the amount of young people that go missing, some not found yet. Yeah, rarely get that over here. That's probably why you guys, because I noticed that the people over in the UK and in other countries follow the cases over here in the United States. And I always wondered that because, we're always talking about these things happen all over the world, but apparently they're rare anywhere else. We are the heathens of the world. The United States are the heathens of the world, And it makes you wonder, what are we doing over here in the United States that are screwing people up upstairs? Never met so many more. I have never met as many unstable people. And I must have been an ostrich because I never believed that there were this many unstable people. But you know what? I come to YouTube and it's glaring. It's glaring. So, hate crime maybe? Oh, good point. Because I didn't realize that he was gay until now. But again, it comes back to that. It could very well be. It could be a hate crime. Maybe somebody didn't like his lifestyle. It's very well, because to be honest with you, that Adam and Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner seem to always be nasty. Like he wasn't just nasty to them. There was another lesbian couple that he was equally disgusting to. And again, he came on our radar because he was a homeless person that left his final paycheck and got out of Dodge almost, very soon after Kylen and Crystal met their demise, were murdered. So, to me, he should have been charged with hate. Obviously, he's no longer with us, but he should have been charged with a hate crime because I truly believe he targeted those girls because of their sexual preference. And this could very well be a hate crime because of his sexual preference. Who knows? It is possible. I didn't think, when we got into that case, I didn't think it was, when we first heard about Utah, we're thinking of this Latter-day Saints. We're thinking about the Mormons. We were thinking that they would have been like fish out of water until we got to Moab and saw how accepting they were. And then that theory kind of didn't seem to play a role until we met or heard about this Adam Pinkschwicks, or whatever his name is. We'll say Adam Pinkus. That's what the girls at McDonald's called him because they could not say his last name either. And, he didn't like that. And This is in Idaho. Who knows? Who knows? I'm curious to find out. It seemed like he, lived a low-key lifestyle. But there are still some of those people that are just, they're wackadoos in the brain, about people's sexual preference. I don't see why it's anybody else's business, personally speaking, but I digress. Please watch that creator. I mentioned tons of information from the locals. Yeah, I will watch that. Allegedly, Kurt is 60 years old, and they were, wow. He's too young to be with somebody that's 60 years old. Even me, I've got to, my ex-husband was 12 years older than me, and I won't do that again. I really won't do that again. I have mine's like 2 years, like I'm 42 years old, so I'll date somebody from 40 to 46, like, somewhere around there. 2 years here, 2 years there, 4 years in and around my age, I guess is probably my comfort level. But if you're too young or too old, I won't date you. I would never. And somebody that's 50 or 60 years old, I'm 42, and I wouldn't date somebody that's 50 or 60 years old. Just saying. We have another Candace. It's I chuckle a little bit. It's not funny. It's really not funny. I'm kind of lost with that question. I don't know. I didn't know about this Kurt. I didn't know he had children, and Troy kept those women captive. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe I'm having a brain fart. I don't know, but I just don't know what you're referring to. Check your text messages. Robin says, how far are we off? We're only off a few minutes, about 10 minutes. So just give me a second. Let me check mine. Oh, yeah. I got that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just off a little bit. I know, right? No excuses for them to leave it in the cruiser like that. No, there's no excuse for that. That's just poor. Troy is more likely than Kurt to be able to overpower Dylan. So we've got two persons of interest, it seems like, that names are starting to come up, and one of them is Troy and one of them is Kurt. Kurt appears to be a much older man that Dylan may have had some friendship with, to what degree, I'm unsure. But it's a little crazy. Guys, I want, from this point forward, we make light of blank screen, but there's no use, every day to be coming in here harassing the people in this chat. So from this point forward, if we see blank screen in here or anybody acting the way blank screen does, just go ahead and block them. Report their message first. I would like that reported, but block them after reporting. Block them. I don't care if you hit them for misleading information, spamming, or harassment, but make sure that blank screen and anybody that acts like blank screen is reported and blocked. I want them to have to make more accounts, and I want to keep blocking them. So we're kind of, we're getting away from the drama. We're trying to stay focused on the cases at hand. That's what our audience really does prefer. And so when we have these people that are here just to try to gaslight and troll this page, there's no need for it. They need to move on. It's time for everybody just to move on and just leave me and this chat be, but they won't. So we're just going to keep blocking them. And if it gets too intense, let me know and we'll put it over into subscriber only mode for 5 hours. Just keep me up to date on how you'd like to handle that. Wadsworth sounds like a pretty scary family. Oh, wow. So we're getting some information in here, and I'm sure Reverend Donna said he's buried on his own property. I kind of believe that just based upon what we're seeing here, the truck being there, the truck being cleaned. It sounds like if the truck was cleaned, the truck was most likely used to transport Again, we always find in cases like this, nobody wants to be driving around with somebody, deceased in the vehicle. So they always dump and appear to dump fairly close to where the demise happened. This being such a desolate area, I'm sure there's a million places that they could have found. And I hear that there's mines, there's caves in and around this area that he could have been placed in, put in. So it does sound a little scary and a little creepy. I feel like it basically left the family. You know what? You guys are having making some valid. Oh, thank you. Who's this? Let me see. Oh, we got a few people in here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your donation. Thank you. Very sweet. Very sweet. So, you never hear this in Canada. Gotcha. Yeah, it's insane to me. How can the United States be the only crazy country out there? And this should tell us right here. There are a lot of when you think that the only way you can solve a problem is eliminating the problem, taking them out, killing them, taking just beating them until they just finally throw their hands up and leave. This is the kind of conduct that has been taught. We weren't taught like this. My generation wasn't taught like this. Just bad things happen in all of our generations. Well, clearly here in the United States. But this whole new breed of children and stuff is just insane to me, where they just go out and burn things down and take over cities. And that's insane. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. People that get mad at somebody and just go out there and shoot them for no reason. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. I don't get it. I truly don't get how, like, if I dislike somebody so much, I'm not going to go and jeopardize risking the rest of my life in jail for somebody I dislike. I better love you a heck of a lot if I'm going to put myself on the line and lose my life protecting you. That would be the only thing I can justify doing. I'm just not willing. If I don't like you, I'm damn sure not going to risk spending the rest of my life in jail over you. I don't get the thought process in some of these killers, but that's the way it is. That's the way it is. What I'm going to do is, you guys seem to have be talking about this a lot. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Give me just a minute. Let me pull this back. I'm going to go ahead and open the phone lines for you guys. Actually, let me put this back up here. And let you guys have your say, because it seems like you guys have some information that needs to be out there for the public. So anybody that wants to come in, let me get this up, and then I will give the phone number out, and you guys can start calling and let me know your thoughts. Even Justice for All, if you're taking the kids, if you've got time to chat, call in. If you want to come up on panel, let me know. I'll send you a link. But I'm very interested in this case. It's a weird case. It's a weird case, and we're going to keep going over it. Let's see here. All right, there's the number. Oh, oops, did I turn it on? Gotta turn the phones on. I did not turn the phones on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. There we go. So if you guys want to call in about this case and tell me your thoughts on it, please do. I mean, this is an interesting case. Many people have information about this case that they want. Now, I'm just going to read a couple things to you so you guys can get a better insight of what's going on about this. He's a teen farmer, missing from Utah, ghost town. Okay, it says from Utah, ghost town, but we hear it's Idaho. Is it Idaho or is it Utah? So before he went missing from a farm in northwest Utah, detectives said Dylan Round told them of a weird run-in with a barefoot stranger he came across on a deserted country road near his home. So here's another, quirky thing. I can't call today. I'm at the office. Oh, we're going to miss you, Amy. That's okay. I may go live later tonight and talk about some other cases. I mean, we're getting our list, and we're going to rotating these cases. Write this down. Rotating the cases that are active right now that we need to keep an eye on, and that's, obviously this case, Gabby Petito, Michael Monkey Vaughn, which a group of us are going to actually be getting together and talking about Michael Vaughn in a very in-depth, like almost like a Zoom call. For now, if there are some creators out there that would like to be up to snuff on Michael Vaughn, or just want to, collaborate and bounce ideas and stuff off each other, reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We are in the process of setting that up. True Crime with Eve has really done a lot of great work on this case. And I really want to go through all of her content and also have her knowledge in helping guide me on some questions and aspects of the case that I don't know about. So with that being said, if other creators would like to join in on that call, please let me know. I'm very interested in it. Mysterious Lee, good morning. Nice to see you in here. I'll have to finish replay, have a doctor appointment. Okay, Becky, you take care. Parents live in Idaho. Okay, thank you. So federal agents are stepping in to help uncover what happened to the budding farmer who disappeared from his rural Utah farm. So the parents are in Idaho. He's in Utah, which is on the border of Nevada, the Monticello that he goes to. He goes to Monticello, Nevada. When I remember this first coming out, it almost sounded like he goes there weekly or a couple times a week. I haven't gotten through this article enough to see if they reiterate that, but that's just going off my recollection when this story actually broke for the first time. Dylan Round, 19. He's only 19 years old, folks. I don't know why he would be diddling with somebody that's 50 or 60 years old. That's just creepy to me. I don't know, to each their own. Who they love is who they love, but that's just, I don't know. That's just too much age difference. I know there's people that have successful relationships that have a huge age difference, but I don't know. When you're 19 and 60, there's just something more going on there with the 60-year-old. I'm not saying the 19-year-old. I'm saying the 60-year-old. There's just something more going on there. I'm just saying. Was last heard from on May 28th after speaking with his grandmother on the phone, according to the East Idaho News. Dylan is from eastern Idaho, lives alone on the farm in Lucin, Utah, in the northwest part of the state near Nevada state border, and hasn't been heard from since. According to his parents, there has been no activity on Dylan's cell phone or his bank account since he disappeared. So that is a horrible revelation. This is not going to end pretty for this boy, this country boy. You just don't disappear and not touch your money and not use your phone. Please watch the mom's interview from Eastern Ohio. Yeah, Graham, I will. I'm not going to do it on here because I don't know when it was out, but we will keep covering this case, and I'll do a much larger in-depth segment on this tomorrow. There's also another boy missing 30 miles west in Nevada, Sharon says. We don't speak politics in this chat room. That's a good way to get blocked. So yeah. You aren't even sure if Dylan's potential relationship. Yeah, it's speculation at this point. Gotcha. Good, because it could just be a friendship. Just because there's two people that have the same sexual identity doesn't mean that they're together. I mean, it could just be somebody he looked up to, that he talked to, that he hung out with. Not necessarily that there was anything going on. I mean, just because you're gay doesn't mean you like every single guy. I mean, you can have friends that are guys, just like a lesbian couple may have female friends. It doesn't mean they're diddling with each other. It just means they have friendship. They understand each other. They understand what they're going through. Who knows? Who knows, right? I mean, who knows? Who really knows? The FBI spokeswoman, Sandra Barker, confirmed to East Idaho News that they are joining the search for Rounds. The Box Elder Sheriff's Office previously stated on June 15th that they're making continual effort to locate Dylan Round and to investigate the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. The sheriff also announced they have every detective in their department working on this case, which is not very comforting. I mean, to have every officer in your department, that means you have a small department. Every single detective in your office is working this case. What's going on here? Can you tell? I can tell you why their son is missing. Miss Brandy Neal is always in. Oh, sorry. Let me not read that out loud because I don't know what you're trying to say. Sorry. Continue to locate. So they have every office in there, every officer or detective in their office looking for him. The parents, Candace Cooley and Justin Rounds, told reporters that they went to check on Dylan on May 29th when they could not get a hold of him. They assumed he parked his grain truck in the shed as he told his grandmother on the phone he was about to do before heading back to the RV camper. It was possible that they thought that he was injured or perhaps bitten by a snake. His parents, however, found the grain truck 100 yards from where it should be and soon came across Dylan's boots. Apparently, I remember this from out the gate when this particular case aired. He had one pair of boots that he wore, and he wore them until they wore out, and then he bought the same exact boots new and used those and wore those until they wore out. So he would have actually had a boot or boots that were older, but he usually pitched those when he got the new boots. So for him to have his only pair of boots out there, that is a red flag for the family because they know his pattern of behavior. And his pattern of behavior is he wears one boot, right? One set of boots. And when those wear out, he pitches them and buys the same exact brand, make, and model of boot, right? And wears those until they wear out. So they appeared, if I remember this correctly, and you know, tell me if I'm wrong, but I remember when this case first broke, they said this was his new boots. So these would have been the boots that he would have been wearing at the time. He wouldn't have had another pair of boots laying around like the older pair because these were the newer pair and they appeared to have had some type of blood stain on them. So it makes you wonder. See people talking. Good morning, Betty. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for giving voice to voices. Oh, thank you. If that guy's homophobic, really, then I don't trust anything he says. I wouldn't listen to ignorant people. Exactly. I think you're talking about I don't know who you're talking about, but, again, no, the PI is not homophobic in my opinion. Well, he's something. I don't like that PI. If it's the same one, Justin is telling me it's the same one that came out. He charges people out the wazoo. He's not there to help. And not only that, he goes on and talks about personal private information of his clients to the whole world. I'm sorry. There is something ethically not wrong with that PI. He would never get, and we talked to him, and he apologized to us because I freaking, no. Yeah, guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, pressure wash. That's what I heard, that the vehicle was cleaned and the seat was pushed forward. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion. If somebody's going to take the time to pressure wash his truck, they were comfortable in that environment. So it was somebody that wasn't unfamiliar with that environment. They actually could dispose of him and go back and clean the truck in comfort. That's somebody that knows the patterns of behaviors and the comings and goings of that property, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, but Justice for All would know the answer to this more than anybody. I don't like the PI. I don't like him at all. I think he is disgusting. When we were talking, what case were we talking about? We had a case up, and I remember it very well. And he's telling this woman's business. His client, the family of them hired him to do a service, and he's out on YouTube talking about what she does behind closed doors. He thought was a relevant topic to blast all over YouTube, this PI. I think that was disgusting. It was a low blow. It was unethical. I think he should have been reported. I think he should have been fined. Yeah, I definitely don't. I think he's garbage. There's so many. I would call Jason Jensen hands down over this jerk off. I love Jason Jensen. And trust me, when I first started this, I didn't care for him that much. And I realized his heart was in the right place and all the work he was doing, free of charge. Just all the money. He was just a good guy. He really wanted to help. This jerk off, this PI that we're all talking about is not like that. And he hates YouTubers, right? He hates web sleuths because we're putting him out of business. Watch Dad. He seems nervous. Observe the dad. His legs are constantly moving and his arms are crossed. Interesting. I'm curious about the behavior panel, what they think. Yeah. This guy is he's not good. The reason why he's not being hired is him. It's not what we're doing out here on YouTube world. Trust me. He may be telling himself that, but have to have a better bedside manner. I agree with you, Amy. I agree with you. Interpersonal skills, absolutely. Yeah, he's not professional at all. I'm sorry, he's just not. Certainly wouldn't hire him. He was to be on another creator and was no show. So look him up, found out he's a fake and not what he says he is. I don't like him. He's not a professional PI dude. No, I mean, we deal with PIs. We see, PIs all the time and they handle themselves in a different light. They're not, I guess some of them are smug, but this guy he's not good. He's not good at all, in my opinion. My family contacted him to do service. When we declined, he threatened to call her a rapist. Yes, that's the kind of guy he is. Absolutely, hands down. Absolutely, hands down. I'm surprised anybody gives him the time of day out here on YouTube. I definitely would never promote him. He was on the one with us and MGL many, many months ago. And we just, whew, he was not happy after we got done with him. And he came back to apologize just to do it again. I'm sorry, but here, let me go do it again. Small town, 100 people, so everybody knows everybody. I believe it. Just because everybody knows everybody doesn't mean everybody knows something, right? Just saying. Wow. He's not a licensed PI. I think he can be in legal jeopardy if he's not a licensed PI and he's advocating as a PI. Like, I can't go do that. There's a lot of requirements to become a PI in Florida. And one of them is you have to work for a PI. You have to, what is it? I used to train them from our real estate office. I can't remember, but where you don't get paid, you go in there and you volunteer your time for 2 years. I mean, I guess you could get paid, but most of them aren't. I can't remember what the name of it. I'm drawing a blank, but anyways, intern. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, an intern. And you have to intern for 2 years before you can go and try to get your actual license. And you've got to go through all this stuff. So they're very strict here in Florida. And he's from Florida. So if he's not a licensed PI and collecting money as if he is a licensed PI, there's a problem there, folks. I love it when Molly kicked his butt off her panel. That was great. I know. His attitude is awful. Yep. I remember it. Apprenticeship. Yes. Yeah. Intern apprenticeship. Yes. Thank you. Jim, the PI, has an LLC. He said he did not have to intern in the state he is out of, but he's in the state of Florida. You can't, I've never heard of reciprocity for PI licenses here in the state of Florida. I mean, state of Florida wants their damn money, I'm curious about that. I'm very, very curious about that because I travel all over the country. If I can go to a different state and get a PI license a lot easier and transfer that license over to Florida so I don't have to do 2 years of internship or apprenticeship, then yeah, I would definitely do that. But I don't think there's that kind of loophole here in the state of Florida. I'm interested in looking into this because I don't like that guy that much. Edie, we're talking about the PI that is on this Dylan Round case, or spoke about this Dylan Round case. He is a horrible, horrible PI, a horrible individual. He extorts money from his clients, basically. I mean, in my opinion, that's what it is. If they don't like it, he went out, one of his clients, they forced them to pay all the money up front, money that he did not yet earn yet, not a retainer, what he thought the case was worth all up front, and then turned around and went online and told the victims private, personal information related to her, what she does with other people in her body, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain it than that, who she's sleeping with. And he's coming out and telling all of her business, just all her business. Call Jay. What do you mean call Jay? Just send me an email. No. Me reading some I'm not supposed to be reading. You guys are killing me over here. Grandfather hired him. Well, I wish the grandfather, hi, little dove, I'm doing well. I wish the grandfather would do a little more research before hiring just anybody, because I could have named like 5 different PIs that would do a heck of a lot of a better job, a lot cheaper than this dude. Yeah, I just can't with that dude. Just a nasty individual. And he's so arrogant and pompous. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like people talking at me. I don't mind having conversations and talking to people. I don't like people talking at me or talking down to me. I just think it's unnecessary. Oh, I believe it, because she don't play. So this is a gentleman. He's a 19-year-old. He's not like a normal teenager. He's not with all the video games. He's not with all the technical stuff. He is a farmer. He loves his crops. That's all he focuses on is his crops. Apparently he may have, a different sexual identity than some of us do, which doesn't have any bearings of the case, unless that could have been the reason for his demise. Maybe he met somebody or an ex. But he disappeared from his property. His truck was cleaned. So obviously somebody was comfortable enough on that property to clean his truck after he disappeared. The seat was pushed up on it. But he's 19 years old and basically just vanished from his property. He had his cedar or something like that was supposed to be in the barn. When his family came there, it was 100 yards from where it was supposed to be. His truck wasn't parked where it was supposed to be. And he uses one pair of boots all the time until the same pair of boots every single day until they wear out. And then he buys the same brand, make, and model of the boot that he had when those are worn out. So he only has one pair of shoes that he uses at a time. And they found his boots there with a stain that is potentially a blood stain. Now, they have not identified whether that blood stain is human blood or animal blood, but he has disappeared. He hasn't touched there's been no phone activity. There's been no activity in his bank account. He just vanished. And it appears that somebody has done something to him and hid him. And many people are speculating it's on that property. And the property is a big property. It's a huge property in a desolate area, in a ghost town. This town had no people that lived in it. And in the 90s, 4 families decided to move in that area. And so it's just a really bizarre, weird type of case surrounding Dylan Rounds that we have not experienced, and if not, in recently, but if at all. So there's a lot of, mines on the property. There's a lot of caves on the property. There's even in the surrounding areas where he could have been put. But at this point, it sounds like the family is, realistic and, without the activity on the phone and without the activity in his bank, and the fact that he's been gone now almost 30 days, it's very hard, not to believe the worst case scenario. But they are looking for him. And I think at this point, they're probably, looking to recover him as opposed to finding him. And it's just a sad, must have been hard from growing up in that family. Stay strong. Bye. Let's see. PI was another panel last night, set up a call-in, and was the biggest lie ever. Caught that dude in a couple lies, just despicable. I don't know, that's just not good PR for a PI. Just saying, just saying. Well, first of all, it's not irresponsible. We're having a conversation and people are chatting in the tab. So again, you are probably another one that I will say this to. We are having a discussion, and all people's opinions are allowed to be discussed here, even yours. And I'm even putting yours up here. I have not looked into this guy. I've said that. People are saying in here. And I'm saying that there is, repercussions for that conduct if he truly is not a PI. I don't know how I'm spreading unfounded rumors. I haven't looked into whether he has a PI license in the state of Florida or not. If he doesn't, he could definitely be in trouble. And that is what I said. So appreciate your comments, but get it better. It's bizarre that they didn't destroy the boots too. But you know what? It could have been one of those things where they forgot. Like they were the reason why they had the boots there is because they were planning on taking them with them. And, during the cleanup, forgot. Be something stupid like that. Could be that they just wanted to throw the case off. Could be that too. I don't know. I've never been a killer, so I don't know how they act. I can. Yeah, we talk about cases. Rune hell. We talk about cases. So, there is people will talk about whatever they want to in here. We have a discussion. So, again, it's not rumors. It's part of a discussion. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think he's an asshole. He is not an approved vendor for the Bullhorn Petty channel. I will direct anybody. Anybody want a good PI, call me. Reach out to me. I will direct you to a decent PI, and that is not one of them. September and Sons, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Guys, we still have the phones open. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Dylan Round. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the PI. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what you heard on No Thanks. Justice for All has been following this. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. So call in, share your thoughts. Oh, somebody has called in that's not ringing. No, nobody's called in today. Maybe I should do a Jody Sue Brown and just stare at the screen. I can't do it. Tracy, yes, they removed some drywall. They removed faucets. They removed handles, door handles. They removed a refrigerator. They made a statement. The law enforcement made a statement on the record that, they don't anticipate finding her alive, which was sad. But it's crazy because they haven't found her yet, but they're making that determination. So it sounds like they have some type of evidence that that she's not gonna, she hasn't survived whatever happened to her. Yeah, I agree with you. So what is this? Let that person deal with the PI for 2 minutes and they'll get it. Exactly. Hands down, no questions asked. That guy is just a complete utter joke, in my opinion. And he did it to himself because the way he acts. You don't, he's just, it's everybody else's fault, not his. Everybody else's fault, not his. It's those YouTubers. It's those web sleuths that are damaging my business. Cry me a river. I call in, but I have my mom here at the cancer center for a 6-month checkup. Well, I hope her 6-month checkup goes good. Everybody throw some prayer hands in there for Justice for All mother-in-law. We want to make sure she is doing well. We want to give support him and his family with a bunch of love from Bullhorn Betty channel to his. He does a lot of great work. So there's your prayer hands. We are praying for you. This is Betty.
Hi, Betty. I don't want to give my name because I'm Dark Horse Justice is my sister.
Very good.
This PI guy, he literally he talked to my sister, and my sister gave him some information because it's difficult for me to talk about my own situation.
Yeah.
And what he did was we respectfully declined his services because what he wanted to do was not what we wanted him to do. He was more interested in ruining a person's life and thinking that would be the correct course of action with this person. And we just chose not to go with him. So he turned around and said that he was going to call the guy that harmed me and tell him my location. Then he called my sister and told my sister that I had 30 seconds to call him, or he was going to call the person that we were hiring him to investigate. When that didn't work, he got a hold of me and blew up my phone with text messages saying that he said that my dad wanted nothing to do with me. He actually even mentioned my mom, but my mom has passed away for 2 years. So that didn't get very far. But he's so vulgar and so vile with everything that he does and how he operates. I just don't understand how. I wish I would have vetted him a little bit more before we contacted him. We just didn't. It wasn't until we contacted him, literally later on that day, we saw what he was doing.
Yeah, it's inappropriate. It's not appropriate. That's not how PIs handle business. They don't act that unprofessional. They don't act that erratic. Or they're very strategic. They plan with you. They ask you, what are you wanting to accomplish with the work that they do? They just don't. They're not to go off on, on their own accord. I mean, you're the client. They are supposed to be following you. Now, granted, when you hire, like say for a missing person, if you hire them, you're hiring them to find a missing person. If that comes back on you through their investigation, that's one thing. But this is his MO. He brings people in and he does this to them. And then if he doesn't like them, he goes and puts all your personal information out there for everybody. Yep. That to me seems like a violation of law.
Well, to me too. He actually said when I because I went up on another channel that I watched, and he said he has absolutely no, what is it? I can't remember what he said, but for the most part, he's saying that he owes me no duty to keep my information confidential.
I beg to differ. Because they ask you for private information that you would not normally give to somebody in the course of his business. He gets that private information, which you're giving him permission to get access to. You're not giving him permission to go on YouTube and put you on blast on YouTube.
Well, and with my situation, I literally am in hiding from this person. And, for him to even threaten to out my location. In fact, he actually did out my location on 2 different channels. And it scared me so bad that I had an anxiety attack that lasted 2 days, and I ended up in the hospital over it.
Well, in the state of Florida, there's the Department of Business and Professional Regulations, which you have to have a good standing with in order to maintain your license. And if you are a licensed individual in the state of Florida, there are boards that oversee your conduct, no matter whether you're in real estate, whether you're an esthetician, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an attorney, no matter what you are, there are governing bodies that protect your clients from behavior such as this. If you have text messages and stuff, it would be my advice to take that and file a complaint against his license and have him brought up to.
Well, so this he's explained this is how he can do this. There are, I think he said, 6 or 7 states where you don't actually have to have a PI license in order to operate. And so
the state of Florida is one you have to have a license in. He's residing in Florida. He's in Florida. He's conducting his business in Florida, and he has to possess a PI license in order to do those types of duties. You cannot say you're a PI in the state of Florida without having a PI license.
His business license is out of Biloxi, Mississippi. And this is how he gets away with it.
Well, he's still his main office, which we can, with all of his stuff and him being in Pinellas and constantly being on YouTube, you can prove that his primary business is in the state of Florida, not Biloxi or not Mississippi. And he has got to have a license to conduct himself here in the state of Florida if he's residing here. He can't have an out-of-state license and have a home address in Florida and say, oh, I can conduct my out-of-state business here in the state of Florida without being properly licensed in the state of Florida. It doesn't work that way. I couldn't do that with my real estate license. I can't go over to Biloxi, Mississippi with my Florida real estate license and start selling property over there.
Yeah. No, I agree. And so like he says stuff like, I don't even have to go anywhere. So like, I heard he's currently in Ohio. Because he told my sister that he is very close to where I'm at. And that scares me. But he says that he doesn't have to go anywhere. He can do everything that he needs to do with his missing persons cases or whatever cases that he's working on from his couch in his living room.
Yeah, well, and he's saying that, but that's why it's important to file complaints and reports and notify people, because what he's saying to you may not be accurate. He may misunderstand the law. And maybe it needs a governing body needs to tell him he's in violation of his license.
He could tell me that his name is actually James Terry, and I wouldn't believe it just because I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth.
What's the name of this guy? What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name again?
Is it James Terry? James Michael Terry?
That's right. I remember that Terry. Yeah, James.
Yeah. We tried to do a background check on his. So if you just Google his name and type in scam or complaints, or even go to ripoff report, he's got so many scams that he has done. He's like, for instance, he talks about his arena football, right? And first off, they don't make six figures like he does. Secondly, he did this thing where he was going to businesses. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of anxiety, but he said that he would, this scam was that he would go into businesses and offer advertising during his arena games. And these are for games that didn't even exist. And he collected a bunch of money for businesses to have advertisements during these games. Just everything he says is a lot. He did, there was him and his wife, he's got a wife named Sandra. And whether or not they are still married or not is a whole other story, but and I believe it was out of Texas, I believe. It's on Ripoff Report. But he was running some scams for something to do with car parts. And then there was another one where he was taking up money for like a fundraiser for children's football gear, and never produced the football gear. There was another one with bumper stickers, something about aliens, something with aliens and bumper stickers.
And you want to hear, I wonder how old he is, because there was a James Michael Terry, 59, 45. Okay, I was going to say, because there was one here for 59 that's passed away in Sunday on February 2016. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I even have a mugshot of him.
Yeah, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'm interested in finding out a
I'll
little.
send you the text messages that he sent me. How threatening he is.
Well, maybe we'll do. We talk about true crime on here, and if he's he would be an applicant on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Maybe it's something that we need to dive into a little deeper and expose his conduct.
I was just going to say, I think that somebody needs to do a deep dive on this guy and just out him so that other families don't get, and he wanted to charge me $5,000 up front to do. And all I wanted him to do, there's law enforcement that is involved in my case as part of my rape. And unfortunately, I was rescued from this police sergeant's home by the same police department that he worked for. And so what I wanted him to do was to take the evidence and speak to the witnesses and put together, like an actual investigation, because the police department is not investigating. They just keep it in this constant state of it's an active investigation. So I can't get a hold of anything. I can't get a hold of the rape kit. I can't get a hold of the DNA. I can't get a hold of anything, not even the report.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted him to do. And what he decided was, no, I'm just going to, I'm going to ruin his life. I'm going to make him, hate you so much that he's just going to leave you alone. And I'm thinking, you're going to get me killed.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
Right.
And he didn't care. He did not want to have anything to do with doing any actual work. He just wanted to, and he's like, oh, I'm going to have fun with this guy. And I'm like, no, you're going to get me killed.
Do we know what his date of birth is? Because there's a lot of James Michael Terrys up here, and I'm trying to find him because I heard that there was a.
Can you do it nationwide?
No, I can't do nationwide. I'm specific. I'm just honing in on Pinellas at the moment. There it is, 1975. I guarantee that is driving vehicle in unsafe conditions, unlawful speed. So it looks like he was born, if he's 45, he was born in 75 potentially, or 76. He's got a lot of little running stop signs. And I got a something here from him now. If this is correct, it says death resulting in Justin Hayden and George Bacon. Terry agreed in a writing to a plea to plead guilty to one count of the indictment. Plea agreement 1-1. Further, the plea agreement contains the following undisputed facts. On March 14th, 1997, in Hillsborough County, Florida, the defendant delivered H to Damian Gordon, who in turn delivered the H to Justin Hayden and George Bacon. As a result of their use of the H, both Justin and George died.
Oh, wow.
Plea agreement, Terry entered his plea on, and it but this was plea on December 6, 1997. I'm just trying to find that case, and I can't find it, so we can dive into it just a little bit. But that's
my dad was trying to, he's done a lot of scrubbing. I don't know if you can do that. So Dad was trying to go through and verify.
Well, that's why I go straight to the court records, because you can't scrub court records. And in the state of Florida, it's very, very, very difficult to have your stuff expunged. So.
Now, my sister has access to LexisNexis. Is that, you can go anywhere that
Yeah, LexisNexis is very good and up to date with. That's what I used to use when I was at the law firm. I was, Westlaw certified, but LexisNexis was the, it was a lot cheaper to use for the size of. Oh, check Hillsborough. Let me check Hillsborough. It was a lot less for the size of our office because they. Westlaw charges more for assistants and stuff, whereas LexisNexis charged for the attorneys and the assistants. You could have up to 2 assistants per attorney, I believe, free of charge. So
do you have to pay for access through each state separately, or is it?
They do give us access to some. Some of those are a little different. So it's it's difficult for me to say one way or another.
Right.
Because some of the stuff on there was all inclusive. Some of the stuff was by state. So it depended on what, and I can't remember which is which. Let me see if I can online record search. Okay, let's do the last name, which is Terry. Tim James. And I wouldn't be doing this if this guy didn't come up.
He's just a disgusting human. I don't understand. Like when he first started talking to us, I would, if the guy was standing in front of me talking to me like that, I'd probably snap.
Right.
But like he talks to everybody like that, and it's just so demeaning.
Yeah. For you and the boys, do we have? Hold on, just one second. Do we have? Looks like we may have. Is Daisy in the house? I heard somebody saying something about prayers for Amanda. Many of you guys don't know Daisy, Miss Daisy on Crimes Critters or Crimes. I can't remember. Whatever, but she's on the Critter. She's Miss Daisy. Crime Crazies and Critters on the Farm. There we go. The Crazies, Crime, and Critter on the Farm. I can't remember which way it goes, but some of these longer ones I can't remember. Anyways, her niece was hit by a vehicle and ran over and penned. And so she's in ICU right now, and they're really praying. So we just want to give a shout out to her and her family. Just give them prayers, uplift them here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So I just saw something that came through that made me want to do that. So we've got what location? We've got a battery in 96. So this guy does not sound like a good dude, and definitely not somebody that needs to be involved in criminal cases, especially when he has his own issues to boot with his own self.
Victim, period. Just at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for.
Thanks for calling in and sharing your story with us. We need to hear. We need to hear about this guy. We got a weird vibe from him many, many months ago and distanced ourselves very quickly. I think we were one and done with him, and now he's still, rearing his ugly head out here on the streets of YouTube. But he's not a very good PI, in my opinion. He doesn't know the ethics behind the PI work. There are some things that just don't need to come to the light, and it's nobody's business that he had access to by the permissions given to him by his client.
And he's not even talking about the Dylan Rounds case. All he's doing is bashing the family. Like it's gross.
Yeah, he bashes his clients and his client's family.
The case at all.
I have never seen a very successful PI that attacks nonstop his clients, and he attacks his own clients. And I don't see how.
Well, it seems like he wants to take your money and promise you all these things. And then once he takes your money, he becomes so completely offensive that they walk away. So now he's got your money. Kind of like he says, you can't fire me when you pay me in full.
Yeah.
And so now what he's just going out and completely,
he's a scammer of epic proportions.
When he said your son's dead, I about died on the inside. I'm like, why would you ever tell a mother that? Why?
Because he wants to act like he's doing the work that he's not doing, and meanwhile, he's just collecting these people's funds.
Well, yeah. In the way that he gets information from people is he sort of puts the script kind of. He gathers information from other people and then puts his own little twist on it and then throws it back out hoping it'll stick someplace. You know, he's not even doing anything for the money that he's been given.
Yeah.
Except
And
for
again,
that,
that's where it's very important when people come across, instead of walking away, file a complaint against him. And for those that have hired this this James Michael Terry in the past and have had this same kind of conduct, it's not too late for you guys to file a report against this guy. Even if you got to file this report in Biloxi, Mississippi, file that. I mean, it's all done online these days. You don't have to go to Mississippi to file a complaint against him or his license.
Is it with the Department of Regulatory Agency, or where would you file?
I would. Well, this is what my recommendation would be: is find out where his license is, and then call the licensing board and find out how you file complaints. And once you find that out, send the information over to me, and I will broadcast it on this channel for people that use him or use his service, or maybe considering using his service in the future. You know, he doesn't need to be scamming people out of this money. He needs to prove the work that he's doing, and if he can't do that, he's in violation. And Red is bringing up a good point. The Better Business Bureau, start filing complaints against him with the Better Business Bureau.
One of the things, and maybe I'm just misunderstanding what he's saying, but one of the things that he says, like for instance, Idaho, he does not have to have a PI license in order to be a PI there. He just has to have a business license. But you can still file against his business license, right?
You can file against his business license, but I totally, wholeheartedly disagree with that. I could completely be wrong. I've never looked into PI stuff outside of something I did when I first got out of college.
Right.
You know, because that was one of the things that paralegals could go into is the PI aspect of it. And so I looked into that when I first got out of college in 2000. And there is a big thing about reciprocity and whether different states have reciprocity. Let's see. Let's just do a little search here. He
said Idaho. I think he said Utah, Colorado. There's six or seven states where you don't have to have a license.
Yeah, there's, but they have to be, the reciprocity has to be there. Let's see what the states are. So no, he is in violation. If his license is in, let me just pull this up.
I guess
so the reciprocity for the state of Florida, the states that we have reciprocity in for PI license is California, Georgia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Virginia. No more than 15 days per case if you have reciprocity from Tennessee. So there's nothing in here that says that he has reciprocity from Mississippi to be residing in the state of Florida and using a Mississippi license.
Well, and his phone number is a Florida phone number.
Yeah, so, and obviously he's been arrested in Florida and resides in Florida, and therefore an out-of-state, especially one from Mississippi. Now, if he had a PI license in California or Georgia, that would be different because it's saying that there's only 7 states that Florida recognizes as having reciprocity for a PI license. And again, those are California, Georgia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, no more than 15 days per case. So he can only, if he had a license from Tennessee, he can only be here in the state of Florida for 15 days only per case. So, or work on it for 15 days. That's it. That's his limitations for the license of Tennessee. And then in Virginia, and nothing on here says Mississippi. So, and for him to be thinking he can use his license for Mississippi and Idaho is ridiculous, because there's your states, if you reside in Florida, where your license can derive from and be utilized still here in the state of Florida. So just, it's all about education. It doesn't matter what he says he can do. It matters what the laws of the state are as deciding what he can do. So it sounds to me like there may be some form of violation of law. Now, again, this is just a cursory review. I have not dived into this at all, but it sounds to me like he is not conducting himself within the confines of the law for his license, and his behavior is indicative of that too. Just because he has a PI license from a different state doesn't mean he's allowed to use it in any damn state he wants to. They're like even me. Just bringing back the real estate license. If I had a client that wanted to go to Louisiana, I would have to refer that client to a different realtor in Louisiana to handle their case. I can't, as a Florida licensed agent, go to Louisiana and sell property because there's no reciprocity for my license in that state. And this is the state of Florida requires licenses. I don't care where his LLC is. If he's not conducting himself within the confines of Florida law, he's violating Florida law. So the first step is finding out where his PI license actually is. If it's in the state of Florida, he can work in the state of Florida. If it's outside the states and is not part of these 7 states which have reciprocity in the state of Florida, he is violating Florida law in practicing PI type of work here in the state of Florida for Floridians.
I have on him. What was your email address again?
bullhornbetty@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get off the phone because I'm starting to feel anxiety. So the only thing thank you for everything that you do. And I pray somebody puts this guy in his place and makes him stop dealing with.
The only people that can do that is people like you that have worked with him and have hired him and have been attacked by him and have been put through this carousel of drama because of thinking you're doing the right thing and finding out that the person that you are hiring is scamming you. And again, I don't know if he's actually scamming people. It depends on where his license is at. If he has a Florida PI license, he is acting within his license. If he has a license from Mississippi and using that Mississippi license in the state of Florida, he is violating Florida law.
Betty, I can tell you that just the stuff that he said to me, and he knew that it would put me in a tailspin. Obviously, I'm in hiding. You know, I'm in a state protection program, you know, and that's for a reason. And he knew that saying these things to me would be damaging to my mental state. And it put me in a tailspin for days to the point where I ended up in the hospital. Like, and he has no shame in re-victimizing somebody. The idea that he would tell somebody where I have, you know, relocated and literally am in hiding, the idea that he would contact this guy and tell him where I'm at when he's actively looking for me, it made me feel, because I finally feel safe, you know. So for him to say he's going to put me back in the arms of that state of, you know, feeling that flight or fight just is, like, I don't leave my house because I have huge anxiety. I can't even go to the store without having, you know, anxiety issues, you know, and he knew that. And like I said, on 2 different channels, he put my location out there. And then for him to threaten to call, you know, the person that victimized me and tell him where I'm at, like,
I'd file a criminal complaint against him. I would file a complaint with the state of Florida. I would file a complaint with the state attorney's office, and I would file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, and he's got no business doing this to people, and he does it with joy, absolute joy. And it's sad because, like, I literally haven't stopped crying for like probably 4 days.
Well, I'm sorry you're going through it, but the only way you're going to empower yourself and get yourself back is to fight back. I mean, and fight back on all grounds, legal grounds you have. And again,
the only reason I even contacted him is because I figured that PIs, they have a code of conduct. You know what I mean? Like, that you have. Even if you don't have a code of conduct that you have to follow, there's a moral code involved with all of this.
Yeah.
Obviously, people, you know, especially if you have a missing child, you know, or a missing person, you just don't purposely re-victimize that person and put them in such a state of fear that they end up being hostile. And he knew that, you know, like my sister even said, if anything happens to my sister because of you, all hell's going to come down on you, you know. But like, it's so sad that there are people like that in this world, you know. And
we're praying for you. We hope things get better, and Just to let the audience know, we're talking about James Michael Terry. He's a PI that has attacked, a lot of his own clients publicly.
Only because I didn't want to hire him. And I actually even said, I respectfully decline your services. What you're offering is not what I am looking for.
Right.
And he blew
a gasket. Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then put my location out to everybody. Like, I mean, not everybody watches YouTube, and he might not say my name, but I know who he's talking about,
right.
And it's terrifying to me.
Right.
So, but I thank you for everything that you do. God bless you.
Thank you. And I hope your situation gets better.
I am going to send you everything that I have.
Yeah, please do. I'll put it up on my channel. I got to do some due diligence on my end to make sure that the information is as accurate as possible. But I'm interested in this gentleman this is not the first time this has happened. We've watched it. Justice for All was there. I mean, MGL was there. We've watched it all. Even Voice for the Voiceless was the one that brought him to our attention. And it's just not, he's not a good guy, in my opinion. I don't know what his motives or means are. And definitely with people bringing him to our attention now, and this is not the first time, it makes me wonder if, maybe taking a deep dive into this PI would actually be beneficial to the people on YouTube, especially if he's doing this to other people.
Well, yeah. And there's got to be hundreds of people out there that have a story that's similar, and they're just scared to talk because of, the information people, throw out into the,
I agree.
YouTube streets. It's just, and that was one of the reasons why I'm like, sister, we just have to completely quit talking to this guy, like ghost him, like he does not exist, because he will ruin my life.
Yeah.
I can't do this. Like, so, I don't know. I'm sure he's watching you right now, and I pray that he is not dumb enough to continue to put my information out on different channels out of revenge. I pray that he doesn't. I just, I don't know.
I get it.
If he's listening, please, Jim, don't do that, because it's just, he's putting my life in danger.
Yeah. James Michael Terry, if you are watching, knock your nonsense off, because you will make your debut on the Bullhorn Betty channel.
I think now that people are aware and talking about it, I think that I hope that he wouldn't do it in fear of, people lashing back out at him for doing that. But he just does what he wants. He's the worst kind of narcissistic dude ever.
And his background's not too good, especially if he's past criminal, and doing these types of cases and victimizing his own clients. Doesn't sound too reputable. Just saying.
And then when you decline to give him your money, then he well, now I have all your.
Then he tries to extort you and blackmail you.
Yes. Exactly.
And those are criminal. Exactly. That's criminal. I would file a criminal complaint. I really would. I wouldn't just lay down. Me personally, if something like this happened to me, I'd be.
Or do I have to find out where he lives?
No, actually, I'll do some work on that. I'll see what I can do to help you out in finding what you need to do and where you need to do it.
Okay, because I am in a confidentiality program through the state where I'm at, and I there's got to be a charge. In doing that, putting my information out there. I know who he's talking about. Y'all don't know who he's talking about, but, and I don't know. I'm spinning right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, Love Bug. Well, you take care. We got your story. Send me an email and we'll start working on it.
I absolutely will. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You're a godsend.
Absolutely. You take care. God bless.
Okay.
So, not a happy person that was looking to hire James Michael Terry, the PI that's just horrible. I mean, he does not have any kind of ethical standing. He has no integrity. And he keeps injecting himself into these cases, and he doesn't like web sleuths, but he likes telling people they must pay him, not a retainer, his entire fee up front, with no accountability on where that money's being spent, his time on the case, whether he's doing what he says he's doing. And then if they don't like it, he goes and attacks his own clients publicly. This is, there's no place for people like that. Bullhorn, did you see him on Doug's panel? I did not. I have not even looked at it, but definitely not a fan of James Michael Terry. Definitely not. Haven't been a fan of his, and surprised he's still making his rounds on YouTube. I thought he was just, out of sight, out of mind, didn't pay attention. But I digress. He doesn't like the web sleuths. Yeah, I know. That's exactly it. Doesn't like web sleuths, but doesn't mind coming on their channel to promote his crap work. I find that also a little hilarious. So obviously doesn't do private. No, he doesn't. He does private until you don't want to pay him, and then he wants to slam you publicly. Tell all your business, including what you do behind closed doors. That's none of anybody's business. He worried about people on YouTube exposing him. Well, he hasn't even gotten started, because I just don't care for him. But don't worry. There's going to be clip channels, right? There's going to be clip channels saying how Bullhorn Betty's got it wrong again, right? But they'll never learn. Yeah, just politely declined his services and went through all this because of that. So don't even pick up the phone to call him, because if he gives you something and he doesn't like you, he's going to expose you all over the internet. It's not the way somebody handles their business. He was fired, though, before discussing the case. So can we still sue him? Honestly? He was fired before, but you gave him information that you wouldn't normally give somebody because you were considering hiring him. Typically, from a legal standpoint, we're not allowed to go out there and blast people's names and in private information about their case, because we could be held accountable for that. And I'd have to think that can be true for, like, anybody in the United States. You can sue and be sued, period. You can sue anybody for anything. It's whether those the statement of facts actually hold, right? Whether you really legitimately have a claim. But in the United States, you can sue and be sued. So, all these people out there that think that they can't be sued or being anonymous is going to help. It doesn't. Just doesn't. Because in the United States, you can sue and be sued. And the law doesn't say if you're anonymous, you can't be sued. They put provisions in the law that allow you to sue them too. So, this guy is not anonymous. We know his name. So you can absolutely, if there's a claim, the bar is low on civil side. The bar is low. It's a preponderance of evidence. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's the difference. But a lot of people out there don't know the difference. So you can sue anybody for any kind of tort. If I'm home crying because of you, I can sue you for making me cry. It's just that simple. Not that people do, but I'm trying to prove the point that you can. Thank you, Jackie Chase, for being the newest member. I gotta change the member levels. Like, I see all these people that have, like, the detective badge or this thing. We need a coffee club. We need something that mimics the show. We need an espresso club. We need a Dunkin' Donuts. I gotta stay away from those types of things, because that might veer into into copyright issues or, stuff like that. So but we can do espresso, we can do caramel macchiato club. We need to come up with some names, folks. And we're going to do that. The coffee beans. Maybe that should be the first one, the coffee beans. The second level should be coffee club. We need to do something. We need to have coffee bean emojis. So, where's the coffee beans? Where are the coffee beans, rather? We need to change the names up because I don't know if I want to be the bronze club or the silver club. I want to be part of the coffee crew, man. You get the bullhorn after the coffee. There you go. Where's the bullhorn? Oh, it's in the car. Should get the bullhorn out. Good morning. Good morning, coffee clubbers. The bullhorn gang. Maybe that should be one of them. The bullhorn gang. We love that. So anyways, guys, we're at the top of the 2 hours. We're actually over our time. I know we've been going 3 hours, 2 hours. We just don't know what we're wanting to do. Let me just do before we're going to do, guys, this is what I need your help with. Do some sleuthing on this James Michael Terry. Send me what you can find on him. He's about 45 years old. I believe his birth date. I know I'm going to give my therapist, White Rabbit, heartburn for doing this. She hates diving into people, but this is not a normal person. Right? He's out there advocating as a PI, advocating for families, supposedly. And then when the families don't want to pay him, he gets nasty and starts putting all the private business out there as a punishment. He's punishing his clients for firing him or not wanting to pay for his services, not hiring him and not paying for his services. So we want to get as much information on James Michael Terry. Each of you guys can help out with that. We do, we got a lot of great sleuths in this chat. So find out what you can. Find out what you can on this gentleman, and let's, bring some real facts to the people here. Obviously he's hurting some people and some families on here because they don't like him or don't want him, working for them because either his price is too much, he's not guaranteeing any, results. You don't know. He wants $5,000, but doesn't even probably doesn't even tell you what he spent his time on. Who knows? I don't know. But I think at this point, we need to find out, guys. I really do. I think at this point, we need to find out. And there are a lot of James Michael Terrys in here. So we have to be very specific on who we're looking for and what his true date of birth is, because I've got here 11/2/1976. I don't know if that's him. And these are felony charges. And then we got some down the way. So it looks like he is, that the 76 is his. I thought it said 75, but I guess it doesn't. It says 76. So let's look at these felony charges. And then we'll make sure that we have the right person by doing record requests to these sheriff's department to make sure that we've got the right guy by getting the mugshots. Those things that people love to pass around from Bullhorn Betty 20 years ago. I'm turning into them, people. Oh my God. I'm just joking. Clip that. But we have a couple felonies here. Let's just see what those are. This is for grand theft. I don't know if that's him or not. 6'2", 200 pounds, born 11/2/1976. This is from 2009, 2010. Complaint filed. Well, I can't tell whether. Oh, and he's one that came out. He's supposed to be this great private investigator, and he came out and did something on me months ago. I want to say it was in December. And he brought now mind you, the same thing that everybody else does, the court record, not an arrest record, not a conviction record. And they specifically asked him, was Andra convicted of those crimes? And he wouldn't answer the question. He wouldn't answer the question about Bullhorn Betty, because 90% of what he was talking about, not only was I cleared, but went to court and was found not guilty. But he was out there actually advocating that those things that he was talking about were actually true. He's one of them. Tables have turned, Mr. Terry. Tables have turned. Justice is sweet. Oh, I got to show you this. There's something that somebody made for me. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it, but I'm going to try. See if I can find it. Way up here. And I never posted it on here because I knew that somebody would make something out of it. Make a mountain out of a molehill, but might as well post it. If I can find it, I will. I love conversations. Street tacos. What was it? It's got to be kind of close. I wanted to show you guys because it's the saying on it that I loved. It was the saying on it that I loved. Wow, it must have been a long time ago they made this. I forgot. May never find it, folks. May never find it. I'm searching for it. Well, come on. It's still in my phone. I hate when I can't find stuff that I'm looking for. Let's see if I can. Shared media. Let's see what we got. Oh, must have deleted it because I don't see it on here. There it is. There it is. Save it. Then pull it up. There it is. Friend made that. If payback's a bitch and revenge is sweet, then I'm the sweetest bitch you'll ever meet. Bullhorn Betty. One of our fans made that. Revenge is sweet. So, anyways, guys, it was great spending Monday with you. You guys go out, make it a great Monday. Believe it or not, the week is almost gone. You don't believe me yet? Come back tomorrow. We're even closer to the weekend. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love all the love and support out there. We continue to rock this out. Guys, don't forget you have homework tonight. James Michael Terry. I want to know every single thing we can about James Michael Terry. If he is, screwing with people in the state of Florida, I want to expose him. If he's threatening people in the state of Florida, I want him exposed. We want to make sure everybody knows to stay away from the PI, the purported, alleged PI called James Michael Terry. We are going to work on that, folks. So if you guys have information, send it over to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Guys, thank you again. Have an amazing day. We love you here. Come back. We will be back live later this afternoon. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. We may just have it open and just talk about all these cases. But if it's something that you need to get off your chest, you have a perspective, you think, there is something that nobody's looking at in one of these cases, let us know. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, guys, take it easy. And don't forget to be fearless, folks.
you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.